Today, we are checking out the best One Piece theory you'll ever watch, I guess. Now, I don't know if it's actually the best. It's just a video that was recommended to me. I've actually had a lot of people say that I should check out more One Piece theories instead of doing all the damn quizzes I've been doing, which is fair. I've been doing a lot of these damn quizzes, trying to milk it. Let's milk something else related to One Piece. That's not Nami or Robin. Let's watch this.
Have you ever realized that when you take the D initial and put it in front of the title of the story, suddenly it becomes a new word? Coincidence, you might say now. But when you take the same D initial and put it in front of Enies lobby that otherwise makes no fucking sense, it suddenly becomes another English word. Denies. Yeah, I know. Blew my mind as well. So now that I know that you're gonna watch this video till the end, let me tell you the crazy story of how the Japanese One Piece community convinced me that the ancient kingdom was part of Jaya, that it's now at the bottom of the sea under Enies lobby, and that Skypiea and Dressrosa tell us what happened during the Void Century. At the end of all this, I promise you, you will laugh as maniacally as I did when I found out just how in your face this all might have been all along. Okay, here we go. I'm so excited.
I bet this is gonna be...
One Piece
I bet this is gonna be an insane theory.
253, we learned that Upper Yard in Skypiea actually used to be part of the island Jaya down on sea level.
Correct, yes.
When you put both maps together, they form one giant skull-shaped island with modern Jaya being the teeth and the legendary golden city of Shandora as the right eye. Oh, yeah, and there is a giant perfectly round gaping hole where the other eye should have been. Why is no one mentioning this?
I think that it's pretty simple. It's just a fucking area where water is and it shapes an eye. That's it. It doesn't have to be special. It doesn't have to be an insane thing. It just shapes an eye. Nothing had to be there. It could have just been a whatever that thing is called. I forgot what that thing is called when you have like a body of water in there like that. It's not a lake. There's like a term for it. It might be fucking nothing.
City in the one eye, and the second eye looks like someone ripped out the one piece of the island that made the second eye of the skull. Wait, one piece? Are you telling me? Yes, this video is also about the true nature of the One Piece and why Skypiea was...
This is going to be super conspiracy theory, and it's going to be... Listen, I think that they're going to, like, piece things together that's very, like, conjectural, and it's all based on, like, these little itty-bitty details, and you're going to be like, oh, yeah, no, but... And it's... No.
Actually not the least important, but the most important arc in the story, and we all didn't see it. I first stumbled across the centerpiece for this theory when doing research for my Enel video. I came across this new...
I do like the idea that somehow Skypiea would be the most important part. I think that it gets a lot of flack and people shit on it a lot. I think my biggest issue with Skypiea specifically is more pacing related. There were some parts that were very drawn out that I felt did not need to be so damn drawn out. Specifically, like the end fight with Enel was like, oh my God, will it end one of these days? But I did like Skypiea. I thought it added an extremely interesting element to the world of One Piece. And people that skip it it's just mind-blowing that you could even skip it.
Japanese One Piece YouTuber called Uderon, who absolutely rocks the Daft Punk mask and who has this crazy video about the true essence of the One Piece. Since I luckily speak some Japanese, I watched it all and it blew my mind so damn hard that I think I just sat there for like 5 minutes straight staring at my PC. Now, for whatever reason, this theory does just not exist in the English-speaking community. So I asked him on Twitter if he would be willing to let me share his thoughts, and got completely ghosted. At least he followed me back though. Thanks. So in good old pirate spirit,
that
I
was
decided
crazy.
to share with the people what belongs with the people. Okay, so the first thing that absolutely caught me by surprise is how much more Oda seems to play with words, numbers, and letters than we English-speaking fans seem to realize. Best example that is actually also relevant for this video is One Piece itself. In Japanese, One Piece is written in the katakana alphabet as One Piece, but this is only on top of an actual Japanese phrase, Hitotsunagi Daihyo. This is usually read as Hitotsunagi, the great treasure of the One Piece, as in the one piece of a whole, hito as in one. However, this could also be read as hitotsunagi, hito as in humans, making it the treasure that connects all people, which of course One Piece
Oh, the
is
wordplay
all
crazy,
about.
bro.
So as I was
Holy
saying,
shit.
the core idea of this theory is that Jaya did not only lose a chunk of its land once when Upper Yard was catapulted into the sky by the knock-up stream 400 years ago, but also 800 years ago when the city located in the left eye was ripped out in the war with the world government. Which, when we look at the map, would theoretically work, right? One city as the right eye.
Ripped out and goes where? He mentioned, what, Enies lobby? How the fuck does this part that is, you know what I mean? Like, you're telling me, we know that they can blast a hole and destroy whatever exists in a place. But you're telling me they used to have some sort of technology that can teleport a giant part of an island? That's what the theory is? They teleported it to another part of the world.
And one city as the left eye, making the island one ancient kingdom. So what's my proof for all this, you ask? Oh, there is a lot.
Okay.
First of all, the
Hit me.
name of the series. One Piece, and there is exactly one piece missing in this map. If Laughtale itself was the one piece missing from the former ancient kingdom, that would fit, right? No pun intended. Then there is also a
I don't remember Skypiea too well, but is Jaya and this ancient kingdom, was it the kingdom of the D's, the ancient civilization and stuff? Or was that never told to us? Do we know where the D's lived? Like where their main kingdom was? Nika, yeah. Well, I understand that, like, you know, Nika is worshipped by the Skypians. Jaya was once Nika, Nika's dominion. Oh. No location given so far as explicitly said. Oh, okay.
ton of small hints regarding the island's left eye being hidden or destroyed throughout Skypiea. For instance, in the cover of volume 27, Luffy has his left eye closed, and I noticed that the same is sort of true for Robin in volume 24 as well. We also have Pedro's missing left eye, Shank's scar, Luffy's scar, Zoro's scar, and the Jolly Roger of Doflamingo, a former celestial dragon, where the skull's left eye is just literally stroked out. Now, the volumes surrounding
That's a big reach. Holy shit, that's a fucking reach.
the Skypiea arc are actually some of the most critical in the entire story. Tons of important characters get introduced here.
I
We meet
agree.
Blackbeard and
It
learn
is so
about the
important.
importance of dreams. We meet Bellamy and Doflamingo, who are also extremely relevant to this theory. And we see the meetings of Shanks and Whitebeard, as well as Ace
Huge.
and Buggy, all of which are super
All
closely
huge.
related to Roger, who, by the way, decided to leave a little message on the poneglyph in Shandora out of all places he could have done so. But the person most connected to Roger in a way that we meet in this arc is none other than Mont Blanc Nolans. He's a direct parallel to Roger, and their connection is one big hint that Jaya was the ancient kingdom and that Laughtale is its missing part.
Interesting.
Noland is basically Roger, but in many ways reverted. Both of them were very powerful, free-spirited adventurers. This panel here,
Interesting.
where only Noland can hear the sound of the bell, strongly suggests that just like Luffy and Roger, he had the voice of all things. Both of them found legendary places, Shandora and Laughtale. Both came back with no evidence, and both were sentenced to death and executed. However,
Damn.
here the stories start to invert each other. While Nolan was deemed a liar for his speech, Roger sparked a new era of piracy. Nolan didn't know the way back to Shandora, but Roger did know the way to Laughtale. Nolan cried while Roger laughed. And Nolan actually told the truth in the end, as the City of Gold was real, while Roger sort of lied, as the core of the One Piece is not gold and silver. And so, given all these parallels, wouldn't it
Interesting,
make a ton of
interesting.
sense that Nolan found the city of the right eye, while Roger found the one on the left? In Mocktown, at the beginning of the arc,
I mean, it would be an interesting theory. Like, if this all turned out to be a real thing, that's kind of cool. I just think that there's going to be a lot of reaching in order to figure out details that aren't really there. It's like when, dude, this is a thing that you find with, like, man, it's a thing you find with Kendrick fans. And I'm a big Kendrick fan. I love Kendrick Lamar. But there's a thing amongst Kendrick fans. These motherfuckers make, like, quadruple, quintuple entendres. Like, so many, like, details that are supposed to go in one line. This man did not write thinking all of those different things. You know, double entendre, sure, maybe triple. right? Maybe, but not all the time. But Kendrick fans find like they will try to link every little detail there that just like, sure, you've created those details. I'm sure he didn't write it with all those details in mind. I just don't see it. I think that most people don't do, there's literally a common phrase, 2 heads are better than 1. Why? Because it gives you another perspective and then you can bounce ideas. I just don't think that like, specifically with something like this, unless Oda's like writing this with a whole group and they're all coming up with these details and they're all like inserting all it, but he's not, dude. It's just the greatness of Oda. He's coming up with these things. And I don't think that he is intentionally putting so many details in there, hinting at so many big moments. I just don't see it, man. I just don't. I think that he's a phenomenal writer, but like some of this shit is just a reach. It just is.
Arc, Bellamy makes fun of dreamers and says that the era of dreams is over. He explicitly names the Golden City and the One Piece as 2 such delusions. And yet, as you very well know,
that's pretty interesting that he mentions both of those places.
The arc ends by Luffy ringing the Golden Bell, proving that the Golden City was there all along. Well, wouldn't it be extremely fitting?
It's pretty cool.
Even ironic if the One Piece, the second location of dreams, used to be in the very same spot that Bellamy used to make fun of both of them. Further, when we reach the
that
ruins
would be
of
kind of cool.
Shandora, Robin explicitly states that there is no doubt that this city fought against the enemy in the war. Well, if Shandora was part of the Ancient Kingdom, that would only be logical then, wouldn't it? Not only as an ally, but as a part of the whole. Also, we can't ignore the fact that Shandora is the only place we know of where the ancient script found on the poneglyphs is actually used as the regular writing system found on the buildings and walls there. And so since we know
that's kind of interesting
that the Kozuki clan were the ones who actually created the poneglyphs for the Ancient Kingdom, and that this script is used very casually here, wouldn't the easiest explanation be that Shandora was part of the Ancient Kingdom? And given recent events, wouldn't that also explain why the sun god, who we now know as Nika, is heavily referenced here by the people as well? We even see Luffy in the exact same pose as him. And when I saw
shit, that's, oh no, this is from the dancing. Yeah, the dancing, yeah. I'm aware of that.
Panel of Nika,
I thought he was stabbing 2 people just now.
Soldiers. And since Nika and Joy Boy, both names associated with laughter, quite possibly describe the very same person from 800 years ago, wouldn't it make sense that these traditions live on in Jaya because it was one?
I don't know if I ever really thought that Joy Boy could be Nika, the same person, because I think of Nika as like this god. I feel like they're different people, but maybe they are. They could be the same. I'd have to really think on that.
Once part of this one ancient kingdom. And then I thought to myself,
you always thought of Joy Boy as Nika. So you think Nika is Joy Boy? I always thought of them as like different. Yeah, I think Joy Boy ate the Nika fruit. Here's the thing. There is a specific, the fruit. I think the fruit is like the main reason why I don't think Joy Boy and Nika are the same person. The fruit is the human fruit, but the variant of Nika, the sun god, this legendary, I don't want to say creature, but like myth. He's mythos, right? So Joy Boy is actually that mythos? You know what I mean? I don't think they're the same person. I think that they're different people. I think Joy Boy I think that eating that fruit almost makes you like a reincarnation of Nika in a way. I also feel like the fruit has like this feeling of fate to it, right? Where you have to be the one that is fated to eat this fruit because you align so much with who Nika was. So Joy Boy existed after the Void Century? No, before. Or during, actually. During, he is from the Void Century. And Nika has existed way before then. If Joy Boy didn't exist 800 years ago, then they might be different people. No, Joy Boy existed 800 years ago. He existed during the Void Century. But Nika has existed long before that. Nika is a god. Nika is bigger than that. Nika is a concept? No, he's a deity, right? He's a god. I'll be honest with you, I don't fully understand the Nika stuff. Gods within One Piece, we don't really dive into them. I don't know how many gods have really been dove into, you know? Didn't Eneru say he was a fucking god? But he ain't really a god. You know what I mean? So it's tough with the whole god thing. I think that there's still more information to be given to us about that. Or maybe it's already been given to us and I just don't remember because it's 1,000 episodes. I don't know. I guess Nika is God, and after he died, it turned into devil fruit, and Joy Boy was the first to eat it. I don't think he died, though. You know what I mean? I think he still exists, and his will is passed on to those that are destined to possess it through eating the devil fruit. So Joy Boy, just Nika in a human body. If Joy Boy is Nika in a human body, Luffy is also Nika in a human body. Does that make sense? I think that their will, their beliefs, and who they are as a being align so much that they could be perceived as the same person. And it is that devil fruit specifically that causes them to fully unlock what Nika is, if that makes sense.
But the sun isn't the only majorly important symbol in the story, is it? One of the most
moon, true.
returning themes in
That's
One
true.
Piece is also the moon. It's everywhere, and I can't begin to count. One Piece is also the moon.
Wait, Enel goes to the moon? This is the Enel boat, right? The Enel ship. He goes to the moon? He flies through space in this shit? In a cover story. I'll be honest with you, that one's a little weird to me. This one I think is a little weird.
It's everywhere, and I can't begin to count all the significant things that happened under a full moon in the story. The sun and the moon obviously go hand in hand in pretty much any mythology. On Zou, another ally of the ancient kingdom, we even get guardians of the night and the day with Nekomamushi and Inuarashi.
True.
So, wouldn't it make sense for the right city to be the city of the sun and the left city to be the city of the moon? By the way, I just looked it up. In Teotihuacan, one of the ancient cities of Mexico that Chandora is based on, there actually is a pyramid of the sun and a pyramid of the moon. The very same moon, by the way, which is part of the Kozuki heritage and whose crest is pretty much the same as the Shandians. And while I was thinking this, I found this crazy color spread of chapter 269,
What is it?
where we see the Straw Hats in a place looking suspiciously like Wano, surrounded by the birds from the Kozuki crest. A crest that, by the way, has also crossbones, but no stone. Okay, this is chapter 269. The last panel of chapter 268 is this. Yeah, coincidence?
I think not.
Oh.
Yeah, coincidence?
I think not.
The inscription on the pillar that Robin reads in the ruins
Hey, yo,
says,
right now he kind of spitting a little bit. He's spitting a little bit. I'm very intrigued right now. I'm very intrigued. This moon-related shit, Loki it kind of is very interesting
we
to
are
me.
the ones who weave history with the sound of the great bell. Come on, we are the ones who weave history, clearly the Kozuki. And it also reminds me of this verse from Bing Sake that says,
Of the Weaving Village.
Goodbye Harbor of the Spinning Village. On top of that, I then remembered that the Shandians came down from the moon to Jaya with very advanced
The port of the Weaving Village and the weaving is related to Wano. Ayo, that one kind of slaps too.
technology, making them the perfect candidates to be a part of an ancient, powerful kingdom. Next up is a concept that I learned from Yuderon.
But then are the Shandians also the ancient civilization? The D's. Do D's descend from the Shandians? You know what I mean? Like, bro, this Void Sentry, I'm telling you, hey, somebody let me know when One Piece, the manga, is starting to get close to that Void Sentry shit, like you feel like it's coming, please let me know. Because then I will binge read through all the chapters as reactions, and I will start reading that shit. Because I cannot just avoid getting spoiled on such a big piece of information. There are two things that, like, there's no way you're going to avoid it. Three things. First thing is the Void Sentry. All the details of the Void Sentry, there's no way you'll avoid it. When that shit happens, it's over. Like, the world will know. The spoilers will be everywhere. 2, One Piece, laughtale, what it is. Oh, come on. I mean, those might be tied together. You know what I mean? But laughtale, that's going to be something you can't avoid. It's just impossible. 3, the end of the series, whatever the fucking end is, you're going to be spoiled. Oh, actually 4, also emu. Like more details on emu, anything emu related.
Changed my perspective on Oda's writing completely.
Change your perspective on Oda's writing. Come on, bro. My perspective on Oda's writing is amazing. Okay, let's go from the beginning. Verth in 253, 264, Warrior Kamakiri versus God Enel. 271, Zoro versus Ohm. 284, my bad. 296, High Altitude Situation. 292, To Meet Like the Half Moon Hidden by Clouds. High Altitude Situation, Praise for Verth, Love Song, Fantasia, Symphony, Having Arrived Here, Finale, The Rich Pirates, Straw Hat Theater, Concert on the Sea, Adventure on Long Island, Foxy the Silver Fox.
Absolutely loves playing with the numbers of the chapters to either describe what is gonna happen in this chapter or even hide a deeper message. One really interesting and way too specific date that Oda gives us in the story is the 12th of May, 1122, the day that Noland discovers Jaya.
21st of May, 1122.
Oda usually never gives us specific dates for anything, so why now? Generally, dates in Japanese are written as year, month, day. So 1122, 512. Now, if you take the individual numbers and the pronunciation from both Japanese and English, you get this. Hitotsu ni koko ni iru. Hitotsu ni koko ni iru. The one is here. Interestingly enough, the volume title of 31 is also koko ni iru. I am right here. So is this the One Piece literally telling us that it's right here? The next date we get is the 6th.
Okay, that one kind of hit, bro. That one kind of hit. I'm not gonna lie.
16th of November, 1127, 5 years later, when Shandora gets knocked into the sky. Same game. This time we get Hitotsunagi in Torodoroku. Do you remember? Hitotsunagi is the One Piece, and in is the sound of a bell. Thus, this stage reads, the One Piece roars with the sound of a bell. The bell coincidentally being part of the unfulfilled promise to Noland.
No. Y'all think this is a reach, but like, he actually kind of spitting right now, bro. He kind of spitting right now. He's kind of spitting right now.
Then inherited over generations until Luffy was finally the one to fulfill it. Another promise that was unfulfilled and inherited to future generations was that of Joy Boy, not 400 but 800.
But I'm kind of locking in right now.
So, when you subtract another 400 years back to the Void Century from Noland's two dates 400 years ago, 1122 and 1127 minus 400, you get the years 722 and 727. The first possibly marking the promise by Joy Boy to the Mermaid Princess, and the second might be the year of destruction of the Ancient Kingdom. I know we're really deep into this right now, but stay with me, because what comes next... I know we're really... 727. The first possibly marking the promise by Joy Boy to the Mermaid Princess, and the second might be the year of destruction of the Ancient Kingdom. I know we're really deep into this right now, but stay with me, because what comes next absolutely blew my mind. When you take these two numbers, 722 and 727, and look at the corresponding chapters, you don't get some random stuff happening. No, 722 is the reveal that Doflamingo is a celestial dragon. In this chapter, he tells Law about how the 20 kings created the world government. 19 of the 20 families deciding to move to Merijoa, while the Nefertari family was the only one who did not go. The descendants of these kings, the world nobles, still live there today. And so this meant
ugly,
that
incested fucking celestial dragons.
New royalties and new kings, and so new royal families were established. As a result, the new ruling family in Dressrosa were the Riku family, while the family that left for Merijoa were the Don Quixote family. Ancient history. Okay, so anything else that might be interesting happening in this chapter? Oh, yeah, we have a literal golden bell ringing in close-up. And then there is Jala. Do you remember Jala and her great artwork? Yeah, me neither. But look at this abstract masterpiece of hers here. A giant gate with two eyes. The right one, bright like the sun, is open. The left one...
It is very weird now. It's very weird now. It's very weird now.
dark like the night is crying. I think I don't have to spell this one out for you, right? This might well represent the ancient kingdom.
It's kind of weird, bro. This is kind of hitting. I like this.
All while Brook is
I like
putting
this.
music on top of it, and we all know how important music is in the One Piece endgame as well. And after defeating Jolla, he even says this.
すみません。私やっぱり芸術わかりません。目が節穴ですから。
At the same time, the Straw Hats and
Okay.
Tontada start the battle to restore the honor of the fallen king and regain their freedom.
All this shit happened in one chapter?
27,
Damn.
Meanwhile, where the fight in Block D continues, okay, this might actually just be coincidence. We hear the story of Doflamingo taking over the country by staging King Riku and his men going against their own people.
もっと国中が恐怖に震え上がり陸王を心底恨み切った時だ
The wordplay we get for this chapter number is chi ni ochiru, falling to the ground. Not only how Dressrosa fell, but also how the ancient kingdom fell. Jolla even says that her cryptic art is meant to represent the tragedy of Dressrosa. So also the tragedy of the ancient kingdom. Now, you might rightly say, oh Hara, if Dressrosa is the representation of the fall of the ancient kingdom, what connection is there between Shandora and Dressrosa? Oh, right, this is a rhetorical question, right? The connection is this.
響いてくれたというトンタッタ王国の伝説のヒーロー
The chapter where Nolan finds out that Shandora has vanished while Kalgara waits for Nolan's promised return is chapter 292, titled Like the Half Moon Hidden by the Clouds. Again, the symbol of the moon that we can also find on Nolan's ship in this chapter. And the wordplay for this chapter is tsukini, 2 moons. In other words, 2 half moons making a whole, making the sun. Wouldn't it also make a lot of sense that the D is actually a half moon? 800 years ago, the people of the sun were overthrown and the done piece became the one piece. A circle became half a circle and became eventually a letter. The will of D then being to be made one whole again, becoming the sun, becoming one piece.
I don't know.
At this point, this already makes way too much sense. But now
No. The D shit was a little bit of reach. So you're saying the D is not even like an initial. It's like the D is like, it doesn't stand for an actual word. It stands for an image, a crescent. Why not use a fucking C? A C looks more like a crescent moon than a fucking D.
to the biggest mystery of it all. Why do I think that the One Piece and or laughtale is at Enies lobby?
正義の門ってのは
Okay. Wait, the One Piece is at Enies lobby? But laughtale, isn't the One Piece at laughtale?
の裏手にあって四方の塔から飲み行けるようだ
なんだこりゃ黒いのなんだ
黒いのは滝だ
The same Enies lobby, by the way, whose main villain is called Rob Lucci, the one who robs the light, just saying. Okay, so we have One Piece that when adding the D2, it gives us done piece. A done piece. The first thing that connects Enies lobby to this is that it also takes a D. Suddenly, Enies lobby that makes no sense as a word becomes denies. Denies what? I thought. But it's probably more of denies who. When you really think about it, Enies lobby is one of the most freakish places we've ever visited in the story. And I know...
I don't know, bro, because this just... Do all these other things actually mean something? Does Enies really not mean anything? And if so, is there anything else that has existed within One Piece that also has not meant anything? Like a name that also means nothing? Is Enies literally the only name in all of One Piece that means nothing?
that says something. It never gets dark there. We have the enormous gates of justice that no one ever seems to bother to explain, really. It is one of the central government facilities, but it makes no sense that they would hold their mock trials on an extra island instead of Impel Down, for instance. Oh, and what the is the deal with this giant hole gaping in the middle of the ocean? The moment I looked...
Well, that's obvious, right? The giant hole gaping in the ocean is the fucking the beam. That shit just destroyed whatever used to be there. Whatever used to be there was destroyed by the fucking beam.
It just made a lot of sense that this might have been the missing piece in the Jaya map that we're looking for. Shape-wise, it absolutely fits. I also wondered if these weird ancient structures on top of the island had any purpose for the Marines, but it doesn't seem like they do. So could it be that these are the remnants of an actual ancient kingdom, the missing link that we were looking for? And then the government just decides to build its own stuff on the island. Is that why they parade the pirates they capture over the—
How the fuck did they get the island there, dog? Listen, if you can't explain to me how the fuck they moved an island, then I think everything is invalid. Because with Jaya getting blasted up and becoming like, you know, like Shandor and stuff in the sky, it is like just up. It's the same place except up, right? That's it. Enies lobby is not up or below that spot missing in the skull. It is in a totally different place. Warp fruit awaken. Listen, until an actual, like, I mean, you could theorize the shit, but like, I need to know the ties. Like, you gotta tie it together. You gotta show me. You gotta give me like the info that makes me believe these things. I think the knock-up stream sent it up, and I guess it fell at some point, or maybe Emu nuked it out the sky. Someone grabbed it and eated it.
island as a forgotten tradition to remember their glorious victory of the pirate kingdom they fought against. I mean, it is called the Island of Justice after all, Shiho no Shima in Japanese. And here I'm a little bit proud of myself because I wondered that if there were multiple readings to the word for One Piece, there might be more to this as well, right? So here's what the dictionary told me. Shiho, obviously with different kanji combinations, next to justice, can also mean 1, 4 directions, 2, secret information, and 3, greatest treasure. Oh, okay. So we have the Island of 4 Directions, just like the 4 road poneglyphs you need to find Laughtale. The Island of Secret Information, just as the forgotten history located on Laughtale. And finally, the Island of the Greatest Treasure, the One Piece itself. So as a result, the government has made this one of the most guarded places in the world, where no one can sneak in during darkness, no one can escape from without opening the gates of justice, and that is directly connected to Impel Down and Marija itself. For Luffy, entering this island means to Impel Down and Marija itself. For Luffy, entering this island means declaring war on the entire world government itself.
I don't know, man. Some of this shit is a little...
Nice entrance to the D, the sworn enemy of the gods. And since Enies Lobby is the arc directly after Skypiea, wouldn't it be a classic Oda move for the missing piece to be right there? I mean, the Straw Hats literally come to save the one person in the world that can figure out the true nature of this place. This arc is all about Robin and her unique ability to read the ancient script and her search for the truth, and how the world government is covering it all up. Hell, don't forget that this is the arc where we first learned about the ancient kingdom in the first place. Okay, but clearly the One Piece can't be in a town full of Marines, right? So where is it? Only one way to go. Remember the inverted stories of Roger and Noland? Well, Noland's City of Dreams was pushed into the sky. Well, what if Roger's island got dropped to the bottom of the sea? So, let me think. Is there anything that might suggest that there's something at the bottom of Enies Lobby? What? So the wordplay from chapter 727, the fall of Dressrosa, was falling to the ground. Did Laughtale literally fall to the ground? I believe it did. I believe that Enies Lobby itself is the missing city from Jaya, and that under the floating island is the island of Laughtale and the One Piece. Just like...
Alright, okay. So you're telling me that Roger, who went to Laughtale, you're telling me Roger went to Enies Lobby and just went down all the way to the bottom of it? Because it's not like Roger's from 400, 600, 800, 1,000 years ago. This motherfucker's from like 45 years ago, right? Like the shit he was doing like 20 to like 50 years ago, in that range. The 20, 50 years ago range. You're telling me like 25-ish years ago or something like that, along those lines, right? It's like 25 years ago that he went to... I don't know how soon after he went to Laughtale did he get executed. but I can't see it being more than 3 years. You're telling me Enies lobby didn't exist until after 25 years ago? Or did he go to a place which seemed to be beyond, like further down in the new world? He went, see, it just doesn't, there are things that just don't add up. Enies lobby is in the first half, bro. It's in the first half of the Grand Line, right? Like it's, so how the fuck did he go to Laughtale that's not there? The Sun Moon stuff, probably the strongest part of the theory. Oh, the Sun Moon stuff, the Nolan Roger parallels, those are really interesting things. The biggest fault in this whole thing is that somehow Laughtale is underneath Enies lobby.
Like the hidden world under Dressrosa. No wonder then that Roger laughed when he reached Laughtale. He had literally been to the ancient kingdom before and passed by Laughtale many times, right in front of everyone's noses. And the ultimate proof I have for this are Roger's very last words at his execution, the very words that start One Piece.
探せ、この世のすべてをそこに置いてきた。
Again here, the secret lies in the Japanese version, a true wordplay in true Oda fashion. Roger says, この世のすべてをそこに置いてきた. I left everything in this world, soko. Soko in Japanese meaning there. However, it also has a second meaning. Soko also means bottom. In other words, the second meaning of Roger's last words is, I left everything in this world at the bottom.
You know what I mean? Just Listen, I would love to check out more theory videos. There was a lot in this one that low-key was very interesting to me. Very interesting to me. I was intrigued heavily by so many things in this. But also, there was some shit that really didn't make a ton of sense. So, listen, dude, if we find out that Laughtale was somehow under Enies lobby, unless we find out that, like, Laughtale, the location marked on the X, when you go to that island where it's at, it is also a hole, and you go in the hole, and it takes you down, and then somehow, like, and that throws you underneath Enies lobby? Sure, maybe. It makes sense if it's underwater. Like, I could see that. I could see that it's underwater. Sure. There's some things here that are very doubtful and some things that are actually very plausible and extremely intriguing. But you all tell me what you thought about this video down in the comments. Let me know what you think of the theory. I think that there's some good shit here. There's also some wild reaches. If you enjoyed the video, don't just leave a comment. Also, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, make sure you all keep it fresh. Peace.